Hello, and what feels like the never-ending, where are we now? Where are we now? So, we have, as you know, on Monday, moved into Temptations. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of the building and what our plans are. And I've got some lots of surprise guests to meet on the way as well. I'll also be talking about the job that we've advertised as well. So, this is, for starters, our little tour of Temptations. So here we are, first of all, up in the attic space, which is any third sector organisation, charity will tell you we need lots and lots and lots of storage. So that was one of the big draws for us for here. If I then make my way down the stairs, I've started at the top because nobody wants to hear me hecking and pecking going up the stairs. So, and here, which you will all recognise as what used to be Temptations, and before that Jessie Allen's. So everything is now out. We're about to start working and looking at what all needs to be done later on today. Yellow is a wonderful colour for a toy shop, not quite so good for an office space. At the moment, it's kind of reminding me now that everything's stripped out of a certain budget airline. If you know, you know. So again, this is the top bit, and then up these little stairs, this little hidden room. So this is a little bit more sorted out. So this is my office. So anybody who's going to be coming in to see either myself or Sarah, our admin and finance officer, where are we in here at the back? Because we're the ones who store away all the files and the bits of paper about the money and things like that. So moving on. And while I'm making my way down the stairs, I'm just going to speak a little bit about the job that we've advertised. So we're looking for an enterprise development officer. And really the main function of it is really going to be retail and sort of developing the business as well and kind of marketing it and things like that. See, told you, surprise guests. We've got Helen standing here. I'll speak to her in a minute. I'm coming back to her. She was getting already poised there. So this is where the ground floor is, and actually this will be where our enterprise development officer will be predominantly working and developing, because we're going to turn this into a zero waste retail shop. That person will also be working on the greenhouses a bit, but not in the way that they need to know about growing and things like that. We have somebody else who deals with all of that. They are going to be more doing marketing and going out and speaking to the hotels, cafes and things like that to take the produce from the garden. So it's a bit of a sales and marketing job with a bit of social enterprise and a bit of retail thrown in. So it would really suit somebody who's maybe looking for a new challenge, who wants to get creative and things like that. And we're taking applications up until the 9th of August. So as you saw, Helen coming in. Helen's going to talk a little bit about, we've got our AGM coming up on the 19th of August, Thursday the 19th of August at 7 p.m. And it's going to be held on Zoom so that we can accommodate lots of you safely. There's lots of you who've already booked, and thank you for saying that you're going to come along. So Helen, what can we expect at the AGM, and are you looking for new board members?
Yes to that one, definitely. I'll talk about that in a second. But at the AGM, please don't worry if you've never done a Zoom meeting before. We have been having a lot of our board meetings by Zoom, so those of us who are currently on the board are quite comfortable with Zoom and will help everybody else through it. So please don't worry about that. We'll make sure that you're there and you know what's expected of you. We really want to make sure that as many of the community can participate as possible, and this seems to be the best way to do it. And believe me, it's great just kind of getting up from your tea, nipping through the computer, switching it on and sitting having a cup of tea at the same time, you know. Doesn't matter whether you've still got your joggy bottoms on, nobody can see that bit. So, yes, back to the AGM. Yeah, what we will be doing is we will be presenting our annual report. Now, you're all going to have to bear in mind, it's not this year's one, it's last year's one. We couldn't have an AGM last year because of COVID, so this is last year's AGM that we're going to have. So all the paperwork that is relevant to this particular AGM will deal with the previous year. However, we will make sure we have got a current update for you to let you know exactly where we are, what we're doing, and we'll all be on hand to answer your questions directly if you have any. However, back to the board members. Yes, we do need more board members. There is a list on the website of the sort of skills we're looking for in particular, but if you don't have any of those skills, but think, no, I'd really like to maybe learn something, or I'd like to kind of know about more about doing, or you haven't got a bit of time you can devote to us, because that's quite important as well. We're not one of these, we're not in a position where a board just maybe meets every month and just has a wee chat and then goes away again, and there aren't many boards like that, I have to say. But because we are so new and because we're still developing, we are all very hands-on, and there are lots and lots of different tasks that we have to undertake, which is why we need a broad range of skills on the board. I think that's all, Joanne, is that right?
Yeah, that's it. So one last thing I'm going to go and show you is we've got a little secret in Temptations as well. So we're going through the door. I say a little secret, requires a lot of work. So we actually have a little garden area. It's a little secret garden. It's a little secret wasteland at the moment, but Jill has all sorts of plans. We've already got tables and chairs. It'll be a little secret garden, and we're quite excited to get stuck into this little bit. Given that we're going to have a plastic-free shop and things like that, we've already got elderflower there, so there's already talk about elderflower cordial being made. Yeah, it's quite an exciting little spot that we've got there.